Hey guys, welcome back to Stir the Pot. Today we're going to be making Cincinnati chili. Cincinnati chili has all the warming spices of this season, but we use it all year round. Follow along with me for the simple recipe. The recipe will be down in the description. Give us a thumbs up and subscribe so that we can hit those YouTube algorithms. Now, let's stir the pot. We're going to start with 3 pounds of ground sirloin. We freeze this. If you don't want to freeze it, well, then of course you can make a smaller portion. And you can take the ingredients in the recipe and then just divide it. If you want to double it and make more than this, by all means, you can do that as well. We have made a lot more than 3 pounds of this at one time. It freezes very well. We use it on hamburgers, hot dogs. This is a chili without any beans. And the very first time I had it, and we enjoy it like this as well, is over pasta. I was really surprised when I ran across it the first time because I seen it and it looked like spaghetti sauce actually, but when I tasted it, a whole different taste, a whole different flavor than spaghetti sauce. Not anything, I don't think it's even close. So you put your hamburger into a skillet and you want to cover it, just cover it with water, and then we're going to cook it down. I have this on medium high. And we're just going to cover it, just enough water to cover your meat. Well, it's going to take this whole 4 cups that I have here. Now, what we will do is we will cook this down. We don't want any large chunks in it. You love the large chunks in your spaghetti sauce and as well as your sloppy joes. But for this, you don't want any large chunks. So you're going to use the water will also help to break up the meat as it cooks. And you'll notice that I'm not adding any spices right now. I will cook my meat. And once this gets done, we're going to we're going to cool it and then put it in the refrigerator overnight. What we will be doing is waiting for the fat to come to the top. We'll remove all of the fat and then we'll use all of the liquid that's in here. We won't pour any of it off to make our Cincinnati chili. So it's going to take a little while for this to cook down for us. Okay, our hamburger has cooked and you'll see the consistency of it. There's a couple chunks in here. I'll chunk them or crunch them up so that they're at this consistency. This is what you want to see. The very small chunks. So we're going to sit this off, let it cool. We'll put it in the refrigerator overnight and we'll add some spices to this tomorrow. Okay. It is the next morning, and now we have our hamburger here that's been sitting in the refrigerator overnight, and the fat has come to the top, but all of the broth has stayed in our meat. So we're going to be taking the fat off. You'll notice that we don't have a whole lot of fat because this was ground sirloin. If we had done ground chuck, and we have done ground chuck before, there would be a lot more. So we're just going to get the big pieces off, trying to keep from taking our hamburger out because you guys know how expensive groceries are right now. We can't afford to do that. And it does not look like I'm going to be able to get much more. I know that was just a little, but every bit of fat that you get out is fat that's not going to be in your body, making that bad cholesterol around your heart. As we get older, we got to think about that. We really need to be thinking about it all the time, but I have to say that I think about it more now that I have got a couple years on me. Okay, that's about all that we can get off of this sirloin. We got about this much off, but that's that much that you're not going to be consuming. If you were using ground chuck, you would get more, and certain grades of ground turkey, you would get more too. If you get the really lean ground turkey, you can be looking about at what I have here off of the ground sirloin. So I know it looks like that I'm now going to be a mad scientist. Cincinnati chili does take a lot of spices. They're not any crazy spices, so most people have these spices in their home, but it is well worth it. It does make for a very tasty dish. So we're going to start off with 6 cloves of garlic. I'm going to get my burner on as well. So I'm just going to put this on medium for right now. I have one very large onion here, and I did put it in my food processor because I want those chunks really, really small. I want it minced up really small for this dish. I have 3 bay leaves going in. I have 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, 2 tablespoons of salt. I have 1.5 teaspoons of cinnamon, a 1/4 cup of chili powder. I have 2 tablespoons of cumin. Moving on up, let's see, what do I have here? Allspice. I have a 1/4 teaspoon of allspice. See, when I told you we're going to have all those warming spices, this is what I was talking about. Cayenne, that can be warming. I have a half a teaspoon of that. If you want to use more, you can. If you want to omit the cayenne, you can do that as well. And cloves, I have a 1/4 teaspoon of cloves. And, haha, chocolate. So this is baker's chocolate. This is unsweetened chocolate, and I have 1.5 ounces of this. 1 ounce is going to be 4 of the little squares is 1 ounce, and I have 1.5 ounce here and a tiny bit just because. Chocolate, I mean, come on. Now, Worcestershire sauce. About 2 tablespoons of this. I will be eyeing this. I will not be measuring it. So, ugh. You get a little bit over with the Worcestershire sauce. What's this here sauce? What is this here sauce? And then we're going to be putting in 8 ounces of tomato sauce. Let me get this out of there. It's kind of, my spices are laying on it. Golly, it smells good already, guys. And then, I think this is 6 ounce can of tomato paste. This house will be smelling good today. I need every bit of that out of there. Okay. So, did I get everything in here? I think I did. So, we're going to cook this. We're going to bring it to a boil, and then we're going to turn it down to simmer. And this will simmer for 2 to 3 hours. And you can already see, come in close here. Look at the rich color that it's already turning, that the chocolate and those spices just makes it a beautiful color. And guys, I didn't add any additional water to it. This was just the water that I had it covered in when I cooked it last night. As it cooks, if it needs and if it starts getting dry, I will add a little bit more water to it. Or you can add beef broth. I have done that before as well. So we'll see you back in a minute with a delicious Cincinnati chili dish. Cincinnati chili originated back in the 1920s, and chili was made famous in Ohio at a state fair, and it's spread across the country. And the Cincinnati chili, it is, look at that, it is very unique because of the spices that you use in it. And a restaurant called Skyline, and I think that it's still in business, made Cincinnati chili famous. So, Cincinnati chili can be served over spaghetti. It can be served on hot dogs. It can be served on hamburgers. Um, the way we're serving it tonight is over spaghetti. So if you were ordering Cincinnati's chili, that's called a two-way. Okay, we're going to add the cheddar cheese. It's called a three-way, and the onions. That makes this a four-way. If you wanted a five-way, if you were ordering it, then they would add kidney beans to it on top of this. So the kidney beans is not cooked in with the chili. So this is what's for dinner. And of course, we have to get a little bit of something green on the side. But I guarantee you, if anything is left on my plate, it will be the veggies. Mm, 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 mm. That is delicious. You've got to try this, guys. Authentic Cincinnati chili. Give us a thumbs up, subscribe, and the recipe will be down in the description. And leave me a comment. And again, I want to thank everyone who has subscribed. It does do us a lot of good, and I really appreciate you. So until next time, stir the pot.